Hey everyone, hope you're having an amazing day. It's Code Karen. Welcome to r/Am I the A-hole, where we have one incredible story with comments and an update. If you are new to this channel, a sub would be great. Tap that notification bell. Let's jump right in. Am I the a-hole for not telling my sister that the child she thinks is her nephew isn't my child because I kept the paternity a secret? I have 5 siblings, and we are not super close, but we have an okay relationship. We try and keep in touch, but we live in different cities. My oldest sister and I have never had a good relationship, so we just agree to be nice to each other, but keep our distance. Some background is necessary for this story. About 5 years ago, I found out my long-term girlfriend of 3 years was cheating on me and got pregnant with another man's child. I didn't tell anyone in my family at the time because I was trying to process this betrayal and a number of other problems in our relationship. We never got married, and I left the relationship before the child was born. Well, she gave birth, and for some reason would not stop telling anyone that would listen that I ran away from my responsibilities. Now, anyone who knows me knows I wouldn't leave without a very good reason, but my oldest sister is a different story. My sister has always been someone who can't stay out of other people's business. She frequently attacks me and says all kinds of messed up things about me in public. Once she heard about my breakup, she pretty much went no contact with me for abandoning my girlfriend and my child, who is not my biological child, by the way, and criticized the rest of my immediate family for not forcing me to step up and be a responsible father. Truthfully, I wanted to keep this betrayal on the down low because I was embarrassed and ashamed that my girlfriend got pregnant with someone else's child. But slowly, over the years, I started to tell the rest of my family what really happened. They would always ask me how long I planned to keep this a secret. The secret being that this child is not my biological child, but I just shrugged it off. Recently, my older sister started spending more time with my ex-girlfriend's child, the one she thinks is mine. My ex never told her that this little boy was not my child. She kept up the fake story, probably because she knows my sister and I don't get along. And she's pretty vindictive. One of the many reasons why I left her. This fall was the first time in 5 years we were all together as a family. And BAM! My sister starts right in on me and attacks me about the child. How a father could abandon his child and things like that. So I responded, I don't know. Why don't you ask my ex why the real dad ran away? My sister called me a pathetic liar, so I asked her if she wanted to see the DNA test results from 5 years ago. She was dumbstruck when she learned I wasn't the biological father, but she was more furious that I allowed her to believe that this child was not her blood relative for the past 5 years. She called me an a-hole and worse. So, am I the a-hole for allowing this farce to go on for 5 years? And why isn't my sister mad at my ex-girlfriend who has been lying to her all this time? I, at least, didn't lie to her. I just didn't tell her the truth. So, maybe I am the a-hole? Edit to add. So, I just want to make one thing very clear. After my ex-girlfriend gave birth, I had the DNA test done, and I was not the father, so I cut her off. My sister went to see my ex without me knowing and got her side of the story, which was a lie, and immediately started attacking me on social media. She never asked me, so I decided to keep letting her make a jerk out of herself. No one else in my life believed my ex's story, not even her own parents, because everyone knew I would never abandon my child. However, this fit my sister's narrative of me, and I just had no time for her nonsense, so that's why I never told her that the child wasn't mine. I have not heard from her in 5 years, so this is 100% on her for believing my ex over her own brother. Let's head to the comments. A cat god says, I disagree with your reasoning. How many women are on this forum whose partners have walked away from their responsibilities and their partners' families have enabled and protected these men, leaving them destitute and alone? Not sure the sister went about it the best way, but are we really going to fault her for standing up for the baby and the girlfriend? She was misled by the ex-girlfriend and her brother. In fact, the entire family, because they knew the real truth. I kind of think this brother is an a-hole, although I don't know enough to be able to decide between everyone stinks here and you're the a-hole. Editing my comment. I'm definitely now on the you're the a-hole boat. His sister has been standing up for a child she was led to believe has been abandoned by her brother. His anger toward her seems to stem from the fact she chose to believe the ex-girlfriend who accused him of being a deadbeat, even though the ex knows the real truth. But he had a pretty lame excuse for covering up something as important as a paternity. Hestian Sun says, everyone stinks here. Yes, the sister shouldn't have rushed to judgment, but the ex-girlfriend was not truthful about the paternity. The ex probably was looking for sympathy, and it was a way to get back at the brother for abandoning her. But there is no good reason not to tell your family that someone who is seen as a family member simply isn't. Not sure if you meant it to sound this way, but it came off like you let this fallacy persist because you thought it was funny. Granted, someone else in your family also could have told your sister about the paternity, but she's justified in being upset at you. You're the a-hole. External Outcome 5678 says, you're the a-hole. I'm siding with your sister because she thought you had a child and abandoned your responsibilities as a parent. She was in the right to get on your case about it. Too many biological fathers don't step up, and it's terrible. This all sounds like some immature sibling rivalry that got brought into adulthood. Letting her believe this lie for 5 years is plain low-down wrong. Cyborg John Keats says, everyone stinks here. It must have really hurt when she assumed the worst in you, but I can understand her anger. You acted like an immature a-hole. You easily could have told her the circumstances around the paternity and then asked her for an apology. Instead, you acted in a way that confirmed her fears that you did in fact abandon a child. This was childish and immature. No way around it. Obviously, she is going to be mad about it. Anyone would be. Yeah, it would be great if your sister came to you first instead of the ex-girlfriend, but she didn't. That's life. Your actions are your responsibility. Own up to them. Letting someone think that they have a family bond when they don't is despicable. I know you said she was no contact with you, but your parents could have told her the truth. Your entire family sounds messed up and childish. Life isn't an internet revenge fantasy. Update. All you guys are right. I have been the a-hole. Writing all this down made me realize that I should have been the bigger person in this relationship and not let this continue for 5 years. I think I was fighting back because I was so devastated after learning about my ex-girlfriend cheating and then getting pregnant. I was so down on myself for a long time. I didn't care what people thought of me. Yeah, all I had to do was say, hey, just so you know, ex cheated on me and the baby isn't mine. Now, my sister has become close to this child, thinking that he is her nephew. Don't get on my family because you thought they should have said something, even if I didn't. My family is weird like that. Beside my bossy sister, they don't get involved at all in family drama. I guess they were waiting for me to say something. Our last comment is from Paxchi, who says, not the a-hole. And honestly, it's astounding how many people are saying either you're the a-hole or everyone stinks here. You told everyone that your sister did not come to you to hear your side of the story. She went to see your ex-girlfriend, believed her side of the story, and then verbally attacked you without knowing the truth, and then went no contact. She just assumed the worst about you, despite the fact that it was not in your character to abandon a child like that. Just a reminder, you were the one who got cheated on. You were the one who had an ex that tried to saddle you with a child that wasn't yours. This sister did a snap judgment on an innocent guy who got massively cheated on. I feel that you had no obligation to correct your sister's misconception, especially when she wasn't interested in the truth. Remember, she was the sister who didn't speak to you for years, and your parents stayed out of it because, for once, it sounds like you have parents who actually respect boundaries, privacy, and don't meddle. I mean, look what happened the first time they met after 5 years. He told her the truth about the paternity and showed her the evidence. If the sister had just gone to him in the first place, she could have avoided this entirely. Could the brother have reached out to her to clarify things? Absolutely. Was he obligated to do so? I say, nope, not at all. Especially when the sister cut him out of her life and was so nasty to him. This is why it's good to actually get both sides of a story before making any snap judgments. Hey Code Karen community, what would you do in this situation? I'd love to hear your comments. See you in the next story.